What is up, guys? It is Zion here,
I'm Dr. D.
and welcome to the Pigeon Ditch. First order of business, Alex Jones lost his fucking mind again. In case you guys don't know who Alex Jones is, in 2015, he claimed the government was putting chemicals in the water that turned the fucking frogs gay. Just this year, he was talking about some kind of fucking interdimensional demon war. And now I'm going to let Dr. D take it away with a new article that came out that just proves he's continuing his legacy of just absolute insanity. So go ahead.
He's def he's definitely something else. Just 3 months ago, he he apologized for spreading fake news about a child sex ring at a Washington D.C. pizzeria after an armed man stormed the place looking for victims.
Dude, there was
Alex,
a whole, they actually called that fucking Pizzagate, dude.
yeah, oh yeah,
There was a whole, holy shit. What was it? They were talking about like fucking people in the government were using secret code about like, oh, I want like extra pepperoni, and that meant like extra of this type of children, or like they were using all types of fucking retarded code. And you're talking about fucking how Hillary Clinton was like running this one fucking child sex ring under a fucking pizzeria, dude. What the fuck?
right.
The dude's bad shit.
Well, Alex is trying to promote this theory that NASA is operating a child slave colony on Mars. And to kind of disprove that, NASA was forced to deny it. So Jones interviewed a man named Robert David Steele, whose wiki page lists him as an American activist and former Central Intelligence Agency. He's a case officer. Anyway, so Steele laid out a strange theory that suggested NASA not only secretly sent humans to Mars without anyone knowing about it, but that it has done incredibly evil things in the process. So essentially, they're trying to kidnap children and repopulate Mars and make them, have more children on a 20-year ride. So once they get to Mars, they have no alternative but to be slaves because they have no way of getting back. I mean,
I gotta give me a fucking minute, dude. I mean, no, honestly, this is fucking how do you, first of all, how do you fucking launch a space shuttle with nobody knowing? NASA has really slowed the fuck down over the years. You would think if they're actually doing this, people would be on social media being like, yo, fucking space shuttle just launched over here. What are they doing? NASA hasn't announced anything, Like, but none of that. Nobody's heard shit about that.
right.
But they're
Well,
just
typically,
sending children to Mars. Mars doesn't have an atmosphere. There's no buildings on Mars. What?
let alone trying to create a self-sustaining environment for children to live on.
Right.
Well, and NASA is very well known for, keeping up to date with their, what's going on, what they're letting people know what they're doing. So even sending test shuttles up to fucking Mars, they have
It would be huge fucking news,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, they have said that publicly, so if they're trying to do something like this and trying to hide it, that would be a very, very big problem. And like you said, how do you not know, like if NASA all of a sudden launches a fucking shuttle up to Mars, I mean, first of all, they have to send multiple shuttles up to begin with so they can get this fucking environment built for these children. Right. And then they have to send the children up there. And by the time that happens, there's going to be so much shit going around because NASA just kidnapped a fuck ton of kids.
Right. There would be fucking missing children reports. There would be all sorts of shit. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But to go on, Steele, he says that the abductees were being killed for their blood and bone marrow. And I don't understand what is that going to do? How's that going to help their case? How are they going to use their blood and bone marrow for a fucking child sex cult?
Lubrication.
Something like this. I don't fucking know.
No, but no, dude, you can't bring logic to crazy motherfuckers, dude. It makes no fucking sense. Like, they're extracting the children's blood and bone marrow. Does it say anything else about that?
Well, let's see. It says pedophilia does not stop with sodomizing children. He goes on to say it goes straight into terrorizing them to adrenalize their blood and then murdering them.
Oh yeah, no, because fucking Bobby the pedophile down the street is just draining children of their fucking blood. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
What? I mean,
Alex says that this is the original growth hormone. So apparently, by doing this, and I'm just going into common sense mostly. If they're harvesting, children's blood and marrow, because they're so fucking scared, their adrenaline is going absolutely apeshit. So they're gonna have all that growth hormones in their blood and bone marrow.
Dude, no. So they're gonna fucking adrenaline has nothing to do with growth, though. That's why it's so retarded.
Right, but when you're scared, your blood goes a lot faster, right? So I'm assuming
your heartbeat raises, your blood pumps faster, and you have adrenaline in your blood. But that's a fight or flight response.
Right.
Like that's...
So if they kill them as their adrenaline is going at its peak in their bloodstream, and they harvest all that blood, then they can use those hormones to help to get these children to go faster. Or whatever.
But see, that makes no sense because we have synthetic adrenaline called epinephrine.
Yeah.
You can we make that in large amounts. I'm sure, the government could easily get a hold of some fucking epinephrine. If you fucking think about it for 2 seconds, this shit, like, all of it goes right out the window. It makes no fucking sense. Right. Alex Jones is just a crazy asshole. But, go ahead.
Well, Jones suggests that he supports Steele's crazy claims by saying that 90% of the NASA's missions are secret. But again, as I said earlier, for the most part, there hasn't been very many things going on with NASA that they haven't publicly announced.
Right, so by saying because how the fuck do you stealthily launch a space shuttle?
Right, by saying that 90% of their missions are fucking secret is you just can't. They announce so much. They let the people know what they're up to and what they're working on. Let's see. Apparently, he says that they've seen a bunch of mechanical wreckage on Mars by just looking through telescopes or whatever the fuck it is. They're not stating how they know this.
A bunch of mechanical wreckage. I mean, I know they, the fucking Mars rover. I know that's on there. Maybe they saw that thing and they're like, oh, new conspiracy theory. Like,
right. Well, what he seems to be kind of going off on this conspiracy is the fact that every time a probe goes over Mars, they get turned off, like some kind of black hole or
does it though
triangle or something. He's trying to use this as an excuse to blow all of this out of proportion.
Okay, hold on. Does it though? Because I bet you if I look up, and I'm gonna look it up right now, Mars probe footage. And let's just see how... And fuck, dude, I even remember yesterday I saw a live stream from, it was like... Was it the ISS? And I know... I don't know if it's NASA or some other organization, but you can fucking goddamn, you can constantly see footage of all sorts of shit, like live streams. They're even doing live streams of cameras on the fucking ISS.
Right. But their probe is in like a something with humans in it, right? So there are active rovers on Mars, but there aren't any humans.
Oh god,
So
you know, I type in Mars probe footage, and guess what the first fucking link is? Mind-blowing Mars alien footage.
yeah, I'm looking at the photo as we speak. It looks like a fucking rock.
Yeah. It's a rock. It
It's a very oddly shaped rock. That's all it
it's a rock. Like how? Just continue the article. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
is. So the Daily Beast contacted NASA to get its response to this outrageous claim. NASA spokesman Guy Webster drew the short straw and had to comment on the Jones segment. He says, as I said just a moment ago, there are no humans on Mars. There are active rovers on Mars. There was a rumor going around last week that there weren't, but there are. There are no humans. That's it. There's no fucking humans on Mars right now, and there probably won't be for a hot minute.
You can't have humans on Mars because
Well,
there's
that's
no
like saying-
fucking atmosphere.
Right, but that's like saying you can't have fucking humans on the moon. There is sort of an atmosphere on the moon, but not really. I mean, it's kind of they're already building a fucking space station on the moon. You know, all they have to do.
When the fuck did this happen?
I've been seeing shit left and right about it.
Really? When?
Yeah, I want to say it was about 2 or 3 months ago. I read an article on the materials that they were using to build.
Who's doing this though? NASA, Elon Musk?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up again. But
because, dude, like last time I checked, fucking NASA was really hurting for funds.
Right.
Especially after, you know, fucking the annoying orange got into office.
But if that's the case, then why the fuck are they trying to send humans on Mars? If they're
exactly. I mean,
there's got to be something else here. You know, I was reading an article on materials that they were trying to use for the moon base, and that by the end of, I think they said it was like 2027, you could buy a ticket up to the moon and you could live on the moon or some shit.
Buy a ticket up to the moon. How about you just fucking sign up for a citizenship for Asgardia and become a part of the first fucking space nation like I am? Like, I'm not fucking kidding, bro. This year they're working with some other companies that you know work on satellites and shit. And they're sending fucking Igor Ishabeli. He's sending up a fucking satellite, or he's working with a couple of companies that they're going to be setting up a satellite this year. I think within a matter of months, and you can, if you were one of the first, what was it, 500,000, one of the first 500,000 people to gain citizenship, you can upload like photos, or I think it's like what, he said, was it 100 kilobytes? It was actually kind of fucking paltry. It's like, you're sending a fucking satellite into space, but you can't get like a terabyte hard drive on the bitch. Like, I mean, right. Yeah, you know, we are talking about 500,000 people, but I mean, you can't just like strap like a couple Seagates onto the bitch. Like, you can afford, but I don't know, whatever. Like, you can upload photos, and like your photos will be digitally saved on a satellite in space, just like chilling out in space. But like the whole thing about Asgardia is it's going to be the first space nation. It is like the whole focus of it is humanity and doing what's best for humanity, you know, fucking separating ourselves from the fucking retarded politics and all this petty war and all this other shit. You know, we'll just be chilling on a huge fucking spaceship in space, like working on mystical science shit.
Right, but think about that. If you really like the 500,000 people on a
Right.
spaceship in space.
Well, no,
There
dude, it's not
has
going to be
to
anytime soon. Like, we're
I
talking
know, I
about a
know.
couple decades out. It is going to be in our lifetime, but
I'm just I want to bring up the point that it doesn't matter what time of what year it is. It doesn't matter what year it is, what month or day. It doesn't fucking matter. People are still people. Okay, if
well, right,
right
but
now,
here's the fucking difference, dude. You don't
could all
have
live in
these
harmony.
warmongering assholes being like, "Oh, uh, a nation of peace in space? I want that." No, they're gonna be down here, fucking kicking each other in the dick over and over again, as they have done for the past couple fucking decades. Like nobody. The only people that are going to be up there are the people that are, intelligent, open-minded, want peace, want advancement, are sick and tired of fucking stagnation of the human race due to fucking retardation and war and fucking politics and shit like that.
Right. Well, and I agree with this 100%. Let's say, for example, that I didn't agree with that, but I just said I did. Right.
Why
So
would you? What?
that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay. All these people down here that are kicking each other in the dicks because they want land or property or whatever, they're gonna think that the idea of living in a fucking space station above the Earth is gonna be so fucking cool, and they want it.
Yeah, but
They will lie out their fucking ass to get there. And then you have to deal with these motherfuckers on the spaceship. There has to be some kind of form of control.
But think about the population difference. How many of those guys are going to be up against how many of people like us?
Right, but people.
And then
like
we
us
just
who are
fucking
up
toss
there-
them out the airlock because fuck them.
Well, sure, but if we're up there because we don't like the idea of war or we want peace and all that, then those guys up there are trying to cause a commotion, trying to cause a fight, trying to take over the shuttle, or whatever, the station, it's we would be going against what we went up there for.
No, it's necessary. No, see, the difference is we don't want unnecessary war. We don't want unnecessary conflict. Of course you have to defend yourself. Of course if you're in a fucking metal tube in space, yeah, you're gonna have to quell conflict really fucking quick because there's not really anywhere you can go.
Yeah.
So, it's vital to stay calm and just squash beef real quick. And if you have a really, really troublesome motherfucker, chain him up, have a trial, throw him out the airlock.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear you scream in space.
Well, that seems to be the end of that article there. I'm looking at some of these photos that they have for their ridiculous claims on life on Mars right now. I mean, okay, it's very selfish to believe that Earth is the only planet with life.
Of course.
But the idea of Mars having life is very, very minuscule because, excuse me, I said that wrong. But the fact that people think that there's life on Mars is kind of ridiculous because there's no oxygen. The water is stained with mercury, if there even is fucking water anymore. Last I saw that it was all drying up. There was some sort of fucking water. And the heat is ridiculous. I have a hard time believing that there's life, and I'm seeing this photo that we'll have to put a link in the description here, but it says that the rock rats and rock lizards have begun to breed.
Right, I'm looking at that right now.
And
what the fuck?
Sure, it kind of looks like a fucking rat, but people do so much with Photoshop anymore.
Right,
I mean,
it's not only that, it's just the human brain is designed to find patterns where there are none.
Right. Well, see, and I'm looking at another photo here, and sure enough, whatever that's supposed to be, it definitely looks like a person. Looking like they're trying to do the fucking Thriller dance,
Oh yeah.
Michael Jackson's Thriller dance. But I really, really don't think that there is human beings or beautiful Mars ladies, as they put it
Dude,
here,
that is
on Mars.
clearly Photoshop. Come on
That is
now.
obviously,
That's not even a
you know,
rock. That's Photoshop. Right, and that face that's been debunked. That
yeah,
that is one of the oldest fucking the fucking yeah, the man on the moon, the fucking face. Like
right. Except for that's supposed to be the face on Mars, not the man on the moon.
well
And
still, it's a classic example of being able to see patterns where there are none.
right,
That's how the human brain is wired. Fucking heart craters, what?
this is funny. I actually have something I'd like to comment on that. Apparently, on Mars there are hearts dug into the surface of the planet. I honestly don't think that was. There's no way in hell that it was man-made or anything. I mean, if you think about it, we've got sand dunes with wind. Okay, I know that there's no atmosphere on Mars, but the planet is still fucking turning.
And there's
And
constantly shit crashing into it. If we did not have an atmosphere, the surface of our planet would look the exact same.
right.
We
I mean, some of
constantly have
these,
small meteors and shit colliding with the atmosphere of our fucking planet. Like it's just because of our atmosphere that they burn up and disintegrate before they usually just fucking hit the ground. So
right. Some of those hearts look like they're fucking Photoshop because of how, I don't know, the first one there, it's very dark around the edges, and then all of a sudden it's light and it's in the shape of a heart. I have a hard time believing that that's a true photo. Um, and I want to bring something to light here, because a lot of people seem to have this thought or idea that aliens look like the motherfuckers from um, Aliens versus Predators. Okay, I can promise you that there's no way in fucking hell it looks like a fucking rock lobster. There's no way that.
rock lost. Oh yeah, that the alien head. If it's a skull, it appears to have several eye sockets, nose, and an embarrassingly large forehead.
That's
Um,
bullshit. If an alien
dude,
exists, you're not gonna have a tall, scrawny ass green dude walking around, okay, with a big ass fucking head. Okay, that's all man
well,
made.
okay, hold on. To be fair though, you never fucking know. Like, who the fuck are we to say? Oh yeah, no, an alien don't look like that. It's
But
an
okay, so
alien. Like you don't.
right, but at the same time, if you think about this, somebody had to come up with the idea or say that this is what they looked like, right? Or showed what this is what they look like. Okay. But you remember, what was it, 2000, 2001? I want to
No.
say it was 2001, when they had that fucking the world is ending shit going on.
What?
Maybe it's 2002. And all these fucking people
You
around the
mean
globe were holding up
2012?
signs. Maybe it's 2012. I don't fucking remember, dude.
Yeah, December 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. The world was supposed to end.
Right, right.
I
And you
was
had all
sitting in
these
a
motherfuckers.
psychiatric hospital at that point.
Right. You're
In December, October and December, I was sitting in a psychiatric ward, and we were all just sitting there like, "Bring it on! Ready to fucking
right.
die!"
Well, you know, we think that all these motherfuckers out here holding those signs thinking that the world is going to end are fucking insane.
Right.
Okay. So why don't we think that the person who all of a sudden showed up saying that, oh, this is what an alien looks like, why don't we think he's insane?
A lot of people do. I do.
Right, right.
It's like, who the fuck are you to say?
Right.
How do
So
you
how do we?
know? Did they put something in your butt?
Yeah,
Have
and
you seen them?
okay. I personally believe that there are more life forms out in space somewhere. I do not think that they look like fucking tall green things.
I can't even say that though because I don't know what the fuck like I
Right.
can't
We
say
don't know for sure,
I don't
but
think they look this way or I don't think they look that. What the fuck do I know?
right. Well, that's true, but I feel I have this belief that if an alien were to visit Earth, and there's a lot of claims that aliens have, you know, being as the crop circles and the random ass images in the sky.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that there have been other life forms entering the atmosphere without us knowing, but how would we have not seen them? And unless they have some kind of cloaking ability, you know, they can fucking go invisible or some shit. You
I
know,
don't know. Maybe they're
or
fucking wizards. Who?
right, they're
Dude,
fucking wizards.
honestly, magic. You know,
Like
when
us.
technology becomes advanced enough, it's indistinguishable from magic. So
Well, sure. I don't know. I just everybody has this idea that aliens and other life forms and planets and the solar systems and all that shit is like fucking Star Wars. And I'm sure that I know for a
or like
fact.
Mass Effect.
Right.
Who the fuck knows?
Right, but I do know for a fact that there's other life out there. I couldn't tell you where, and I
Well,
can't show you.
it's a matter of probability. It would be fucking retarded to think that we are the only intelligent species
Right. Well, think about how many
in the
fucking solar
universe.
systems are out there.
Right, and then take into account fucking multiverse.
Right.
And then, you know, think, you know, when technology becomes advanced enough and we understand, you know, the space between the universes, or universi, no, that doesn't sound right, universes, like, you know, being able to transition between each universe and the multiverse, you know what I mean? So, I mean,
Right.
you go deeper and deeper into levels on this shit, and it's the fucking, even in our known galaxy, right? The sheer probability alone in our own galaxy, there's bound to be at least a couple.
Right.
Not to mention in the universe, and then you start talking about multiple universes, and yeah, it's bound to be somewhere
Right.
where instead of, you know, branching off from primates, humans became fucking mermaids. Who knows? Like, no, because that's the whole fucking point of the multiverse theory.
Right.
There is
right.
there is a universe that exists where every single outcome that it could have ever possibly happened has already happened.
Like fucking as an example, in our universe we have fucking Hitler, you know, who was killed thanks to Albert Einstein's help. If we didn't have him on our side, we would have lost.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's true. If Albert Einstein was not on our side, we would have lost the war to the Germans, to the Nazis. But
how?
Well,
The
because
fuck does Einstein fit into Hitler's story? What?
Look, it's true, man. You gotta. We'll do another article on that, but
We are getting back to that because you need to fucking explain yourself, asshole. What kind of shit you no. Matter of fact, we need to address that now. No, you don't just say, oh yeah, no, fucking if it wasn't for Einstein, you know, Hitler would never have fucking died in his bunker. You know, he fucking killed himself, right? Like
I know. I'm talking
so
about
so you're
war.
telling me that fucking Einstein made Hitler kill himself.
No.
What kind of puns was Einstein ripping? What kind of fucking no, dude? What do you?
I forget where I got this information from, but he's very very deep into history. He's who the fuck was it? Son of a bitch.
Yeah, why don't you go look that up real quick?
Anyways, Albert Einstein definitely played a part in that. So, I'll look it up. But, anyways, getting back on the topic for a moment, if, for example, they would have, you know, because they lost, we won that war, you know, in our universe. So in another universe, we definitely lost. You know, how would the world be after that? You know,
I don't know.
we wouldn't be able to, we wouldn't be able to tell unless we had the technology. And that's another thing that gets brought up is if there's multiple universes where things are different, you know, if the Nazis would have won the war, who's to say that the technology would be as far as it is today?
Right. I don't know. But then again, I mean, during World War II, the Nazis were working on some really weird shit. So, they were trying to use like technology to like summon demons and shit. So, I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we'd have like fucking demon powered dildos today. Who knows?
Okay, let's see. Okay, so Albert Einstein helped to organize a group of prominent physicists who wrote a letter of warning of the possibility of a nuclear bomb. Let's see. This got the government to talk to the scientists, take their claims seriously, and invest in the Manhattan Project. As it turned out, the Nazis didn't move as fast or effectively on their own bomb as Einstein and his compatriots feared. But getting the USA moving on the project was important, just in case the Nazis had managed to develop their own. So the fact that Albert Einstein was on our team, on our side, so to speak, we were able to develop means to wipe out the Nazis before they were able to develop their own atomic bomb. So like I said, if Albert Einstein was with the Nazis, with the Germans, they would have already had that nuclear bomb done. That atomic bomb would have been made, and we would be just made a giant ass fucking crater. It'd just be.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's multiple different articles that I could go into on Albert Einstein and his contribution to the World War II and all that. But honestly,
That's fucking
like
crazy shit, though. Like, I just thought he was just like a math genius. He was focusing on, his theory of relativity and all this other shit.
See, the thing is, Albert Einstein was German, right? So when he found out that the Nazis were trying to come up with an atomic bomb, they were trying to develop an atomic bomb. He didn't like that idea of mass destruction, so he went to the U.S. to prevent that. He helped them wipe out the Nazis before it was possible.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know why this just popped in my head. Look up Operation Paperclip real quick. I think this has some kind of relevance. I don't remember. That just popped up in my head real quick. But let me know if you find like an article on it or something.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not gonna get on Wikipedia for that because that's, how reliable Wikipedia is.
Yeah, very reliable actually.
Dude, anybody can get on there and change shit.
That's exactly why it's reliable. Tell me, would you rather trust a source that only one person can control, a source of information that only one person can control, or a database that is a wealth of knowledge that anybody can correct at any time?
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think you're going to have retarded information on there before somebody comes along and fixes that?
That's true.
But then, for some reason, we were always told in schools, look at this site, only one person can control it. It's more trustable. Like, what? Are you fucking nuts?
Operation Paperclip was, if you're trying to involve the Nazis and the Germans and all that, it was a program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians, including, I'm going to butcher this, but Wernher von Braun's rocket team, they were recruited and brought to the U.S. for government employment from post-Nazi Germany after World War II. So this Operation Paperclip was just to gain military advantage in the Cold War and the space race between the U.S. and Russians. So Operation Paperclip actually doesn't play much of a part in the World War II because this was staged afterwards.
I thought Operation Paperclip was like about, I mean, it was about a bunch of German scientists, or maybe not German scientists. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of two different things. But you want to take a quick 15-minute break, little intermission?
Yeah.
Go have a smoke, grab a sandwich or some shit.
Yep.
All right. We will be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Be about a 15-minute break. And we are back, guys. So during the intermission, we found a pretty funny article we'd like to go over. Uh, D, you want to take this away?
Sure. So there was an accused shooter who allegedly poops on his arrest warrant. Being accused of a crime is pretty crappy to begin with. But let's be honest here, there's absolutely no reason to shit on your search warrant.
Depends on who you ask, though, honestly.
I guess. But that's what this Florida man was accused of shooting at a Deerfield Beach deputy allegedly did while his paperwork was being processed. According to the Broward County Sheriff's Office, this man's name was Demetrius Vidal, and he's 24 years old. He was arrested on Tuesday in connection with a shootout that took place at about 3 a.m. Monday near Tropicante nightclub.
This dude just looks like he would do some shit like that too.
Yeah,
like
well,
he's got that
really
crazy in his eyes, bro.
It's really sad to say because it's very stereotypical the way this man looks, and I'm sure by judging by the name, you can tell what ethnicity this man is. It's very sad. He's got an Egyptian cross tattoo in between his eyeballs, and looks like some Saudi Arabia type shit underneath his right eyeball.
It's just like the look in his eyes, dude. Being black has nothing to do with it. Just the fucking look in his eyes. He's got that crazy ass look in his eyes.
But if you have to take in his entire appearance, it's very stereotypical to accuse a man like this, whether it be true or not, of a shootout like that, because it's very stereotypical, especially in America.
Well, I'm sure they didn't fucking accuse him for no goddamn reason. Pretty sure he's not guilty of being black, dude. Like, fuck.
That's happened before, though. You know what I mean?
Well, it has, but I highly doubt they're just like, oh, random black man, he did it.
Right, but it says that he was charged with being in connection with the shootout.
Maybe they have evidence,
Maybe. But let's say, for example, you went and shot up a fucking nightclub. I didn't know about it, but I'm your best fucking friend. So, they're gonna come after me because I was in connection somehow. I'm not trying to
well, if you were my best friend and they knew you were my best friend, whether you actually knew anything or not, like, you would be their best lead.
Well, yeah.
So,
but anyways, back on the topic. The authorities accused Demetrius of shooting and robbing the club, or a club goer, Jordan Harris, who is expected to recover. So in addition to Vidal allegedly shooting at the Broward Sheriff's Deputy Derek Nesbitt, man, that was kind of hard to say for a second, who was responding to reports of gunshots. The deputy fired back but wasn't injured, according to WSVN TV. Vidal managed to elude capture until the next day when he was apprehended while driving in Fort Lauderdale. Honestly, if you're going to commit a crime, there's literally like a 7 out of 10% your odds are 7 out of 10, for getting caught. You commit a crime this bad, you are going to get caught unless you're lucky enough to
well, not away. Even that, but how much do you want to bet this dude was stupid enough to use the same fucking car? If you got apprehended while driving, that you would have to have been driving the same fucking car, or else,
right? Well,
are they pulling over everybody and looking in the car and like looking at the people driving? You know what I mean?
Well, and what makes matters worse is more than likely he was, he probably had like a blown taillight or something. If you're going to commit a crime and use a vehicle to get away, you want to make sure that motherfucker is in top condition.
Right.
You want to make sure that everything is street legal, because if you get pulled over for some bullshit like that and all of a sudden you get charged with first-degree murder or attempted murder or whatever the fuck,
Oh, like, fuck, my tail light's out. First-degree murder.
Like, oh my god, my blinker stopped working, oh shit, now I'm being charged with first-degree murder, I mean, come on, you got to be smart about this shit. Anyways, so Vidal was charged with attempted first-degree murder, attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, armed robbery, and obstructing a police officer executing a search warrant, and driving with a revoked license. See, that's That's another thing. If you're gonna commit a
Jesus
crime,
Christ.
if you're gonna commit a crime, you at least need to have somebody with a valid license. I mean, even if, for
Come.
example, you
How do
don't
you?
have your license, you gotta at least be a decent enough driver to fucking get away.
Oh,
You
come
know,
on. Like, everything's fucked in this story. Like, whew, you got a revoked license. You probably driving the same car. Motherfucker. This dude has never heard of Tumblr, I swear to God. Tumblr's like serial killer school, so, I mean... You ever seen those fucking posts, dude?
yeah, I believe I have.
Fuck. It's fucking serial killer school. Go ahead, my bad.
So, anyways, um, Vidal refused to let the officers take his pictures, fingerprints, DNA, claiming a judge had no jurisdiction over him,
Well,
and
he
all
gave
that.
them
But
his fucking DNA, alright? Right out of his
what
ass.
Vidal allegedly did.
What?
Oh, sorry. For some reason, my computer's being a little odd. Your
Oh.
voice was being very slow there for a minute. You were like, I don't know. That was weird. Anyways, so Vidal allegedly did, while in custody, that's really raising a stink. So when the officers pulled over Vidal, they served him with a search warrant to get his DNA in order to match him with the crime scene. And after Vidal refused to let the officers take his picture, fingerprints, and DNA, and claiming that the judge had no jurisdiction over him, he fucking shit on the search warrant, and I don't know. Fucking
Well,
special, I guess.
dumped a whole bunch of DNA, as the article puts it. He gave him his DNA, alright. He gave them his DNA, alright. Fuck, man. That... However, while Vidal's paperwork was being processed, he allegedly went into the bathroom and dumped a whole bunch of DNA, or defecation not appreciated, on the warrant, according to WSVN-TV. Vidal appeared in court on Wednesday, where he chose to represent himself and argue with the judge, the Sun Sentinel reports. Jail records show Vidal remains behind bars at the Broward County main jail. I mean, hell, dude, if you're going in anyway. Shit. You still with us, D? Well, guys, it looks like we're running into a little bit of technical difficulty here. I will put us, unfortunately, on another intermission just for a minute, so that we can wait for Mr. D here, Dr. D, who's Dr. D, man, I would never want to visit that fucking clinic. We will be right back, guys. And we are back. I apologize about that.
Yeah, sorry. I had a little bit of a connection issue there. Currently I'm not inside my house. I moved into a little personal space outside my house in my shed. Believe it or not. So my internet connection isn't the greatest because unfortunately I don't have a 200-foot LAN cable. So I'm kind of stuck using wireless. Um, but I think I got it under control now.
But I mean,
So
surprisingly for shed Wi-Fi, that voice is pretty crisp coming from across the way. So,
well, that's mostly my microphone. And believe it or not, for all you people out there that are kind of wanting to know what microphone you should use, I'm actually using a Konami karaoke microphone, like you would use for karaoke on your laptop or a fucking karaoke machine. That's all I'm using.
yeah, surprising. How much was that?
It's like $15. And what's great about it though is I didn't pay for the microphone itself. I paid for a karaoke game for my Xbox 360, and it came with the microphone. But I ditched the game because they just wanted the microphone.
What? Damn,
Yeah,
dude, this fucking I'm talking into a fucking webcam right now. It cost me about $40.
yeah, and I'm using the $15 karaoke microphone.
Your fucking sound quality is better than mine is. Goddamn. Okay, so that's how it is, I guess. So yeah, while you were having connection issues, I just finished up the rest of that article. That is just wow.
Well, yeah, after I was having those issues, I wasn't able to hear you really reading because you sounded super slow. Like it was
Yeah.
cutting out every second, so it
Yep.
kind of prolonged your words.
Yeah.
But I read some of it, and for some reason I thought that that part there where it says, however, while Vidal's paperwork was being processed, he allegedly went into the bathroom and dumped a whole bunch of DNA or defecation not appreciated on the warrant, according
Right.
to WSVN TV. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Okay, I don't
Right.
know why, but I thought that was funny.
DNA defecation not appreciated. That's fucking great.
But honestly, let's be real for a minute. If you refuse to give your DNA, don't turn around and fucking shit on your search warrant. Okay, that's got loads of DNA in it. Not only does it have your fucking anal hairs, but it also has, your
Anal
fucking,
hairs.
a grown ass man, a 24-year-old man is gonna have hairs in his asshole. Okay, I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you wax every fucking Sunday. You're still gonna have hair inside your fucking asshole. Okay, it's if you go and you fucking shit on your search warrant, you're gonna leave anal hairs. You're gonna leave fucking your internal shit. That's fucking DNA. So don't refuse to give DNA and then all of a sudden shit on the fucking search warrant because you're just going back on what you said. You two-faced little bitch. Just kidding. But no, seriously, don't do that. That's not cool.
Hold the fuck. Whoa. There's an article that says mysterious gold toilets are popping up so people can take a Trump.
Breaking news.
Can't.
Company selling $1 million toilets made of gold.
What the fuck? Some of the weirdest shit. Creepy laughing clown doll scares bear out of stealing trash. Excuse me. The high school physics student did not factor dog into egg drop experiment.
What?
I gotta open this. I gotta see what the fuck is going on here. Is it broken? What? Oops. This do a copyright claim. Wow. HuffPost got a fucking
Person that pops
copyright
up.
claim.
I told you that shit is possible.
Um. Texas teacher gives most likely to become a terrorist award to 7th grader. Hero squirrel attempts to eat taco nearly the size of its whole body.
What the fuck?
Baseball game streaker looks like he's having the time of his life.
Wow.
Let's see. Are you seeing anything funny?
Well, let me just take a look. You know, just one thing that I want to bring up, because I kind of feel like a dick earlier about commenting on this man for shitting on his arrest warrant or search warrant. It doesn't matter if you're what color you are. If you commit a crime, you commit a crime. But as of late, you know, in the last 2016 especially, there was a big problem with African American men getting a lot of trouble for shit that they didn't do. And now they're bringing that into a hate crime, and that's getting up there. You know, I don't even think it's a misdemeanor anymore. I think it's more than that. I'm pretty sure that depending on the situation, you could be charged with a felony hate crime, and I think that's just fucking insane. Because I just thought that I'd bring that up because I kind of felt like an asshole for mentioning that it's very stereotypical for an African American man to be in some kind of affiliation with a shootout.
Well, in a completely appropriate segue, KFC launches chicken sandwich into space next week.
Oh my god. I actually saw that somewhere. I don't remember where, but we should definitely go over that.
Yes, because...
Shoot me that link.
Yeah, I'm shooting real quick. Fuck. Because weren't we just talking earlier about, fucking sending shit into space, the fucking child slaves, but no, in all reality, we're sending fucking chicken sandwiches into space. That's what the fuck we're doing.
Right, we're not sending children up there, we're sending KFC.
Right. One lingering question, who would want to eat a chicken sandwich that spent 4 days in space? I don't know.
Honestly, I would.
I would, yeah.
So far this
the reason
year,
for that is
KFC
because
is
there's
using
no oxygen, and there are what?
No, fucking these videos autoplay. That's a pain in the ass.
Oh, okay. The reason I would eat a sandwich that spent 4 days in space is because there's no oxygen. So the food that's been up there doesn't have any way of spoiling. Because there's no oxygen, there's no bacteria, there's nothing. Not even carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, whatever. It's absolutely nothing. You just have a complete lack of everything in space. So
it's a vacuum.
Right. If you put a fucking banana up there for 6 months, when you go up there to fucking get it, it's probably still gonna fucking be.
It'll be fucking frozen.
Like a fucking banana.
That's for sure, because it's cold as fucking space.
Well, sure, but when it fucking thaws, it's gonna be a fucking banana. The same as when it fucking reached space. The universe just fucking amazes me.
Yeah. Alright, so want to get onto this amazing fucking article?
Sure.
You want me to do this one?
If you want to, you can. If not, I will. It's up to you.
It's one small step for a chicken sandwich and one giant leap for fast food. On June 21st, KFC plan. You know what? Hold on. I would like to comment. KFC has the money to send a fucking chicken sandwich into space, but not enough money to pay their workers a livable wage. I would like to bring that the fuck up for a minute.
I actually, believe it or not, when I was doing a lot of job searching, I actually applied at a KFC, and they were offering to pay me $9 an hour to work 5 days at 5 hours a day. So honestly, and if they've got the money to send a fucking chicken sandwich into space, they sure as fuck have the money to be at least be paying their fucking employees 10, maybe $11.
Right.
You know,
Now, 15 is a lot. I get that. That's a little that's a little much, but like 10 or 11 bucks, that should be minimum wage. A couple extra bucks on what it already is, to account for inflation and how fucking expensive shit is. Like
right?
that's one thing that's really fucking irked me for a hot minute, because it's getting fucking ridiculous. People are struggling just to put fucking food in their stomach and a roof over their head.
Actually, on that note, I would like to mention, because a lot of people don't know this, there is a law called the right to forage, and this law, and I want to make sure that anybody who has internet access and can listen to this, you need to know that if you are starving, or if your family is starving, even if you've got about 5-10 cans of food in your fucking cupboard, and maybe a fucking pork chop or some shit in the fridge, even if you have some food, you have the right to feed your family. You can go and fish, you can go and hunt, and if somebody asks you about it, you literally have to tell them that they need to go to your house and inspect your fridge and your cupboards, because you have the right to fish and to hunt to feed you and your family.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that up, because there's a lot of people out there that don't know that, and that's a very important law. It's not in the Constitution, but it is a law.
Yeah. So we got quite off topic.
US anyways.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said for those of you that live in the US anyways.
Yeah.
That's a law.
On June 21st, KFC plans to June. Well, have they already done it then? Wow. This is an old article.
They may have.
On June 21st, KFC plans to launch its Zinger chicken sandwich into space via a high-altitude solar-powered balloon known as a stratolite, a word combining stratosphere and satellite. The chicken sandwich will zip up to about 28.5 miles above Earth, not quite the 62-mile threshold to be considered to be the edge of space, but, as the New York Times notes, it's cheaper than shooting off an orbiting rocket. Assuming the launch goes off without a hitch, the balloon and the sandwich will float above Earth for at least 4 days while the stratolite records telemetry data to help future launches by Worldview, the balloon's manufacturer, according to the Associated Press. Whether anyone wants to eat the sandwich after that remains a mystery. I'd fucking eat it. That's a goddamn... it's a sandwich, it's food. I'll eat it.
Right. Microwave that shit.
Right. KFC is funding the flight of the Zinger, which will mark the balloon's first multi-day mission, according to Space.com. Worldview co-founder and chief technology officer Tabor McCallum told the website that the project will benefit both companies. This mission offers edge-of-space access to KFC, allowing them to embark on a one-of-a-kind marketing experiment while we get to pursue our maiden multi-day Stratolite shakedown cruise and open unprecedented access to the stratosphere, McCallum said. It's a double win. The Stratolite launch will be streamed at kfcin.space, a web address that expands to, yes, we are actually sending a chicken sandwich to .space, according to what the fuck? KFC has hatched lots of plans to promote the 4-day trip, including dropping a single coupon on the ground. The information gathered during the trip will help Worldview protect their future balloons, which are designed to travel long distances or hover over one spot on Earth for long periods like a drone. Stratolites may soon be used to monitor natural disasters, provide Wi-Fi service in remote areas, or other services, Worldview representatives told Space.com. It may also be used to spy on hobos jacking off in fucking alleyways and spying on your dog. They're putting fucking microphones in your dogs, dude. Did you know that?
Are they really?
Are they really?
I'm just kidding. I'm not that
actually fucking considered that for a second. Like, what? Putting microphones in the dogs, man. Don't talk around your dog. He knows. Got fucking spy balloons in the stratosphere now. God damn it.
Well, I just wanted to bring this up real quick. If I all of a sudden quit talking, or
Fucking spy balloon shot him, bro. Well, that's fucking hilarious. If I stop talking or and just gone. You still with us?
can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So what I thought I said was, if I all of a sudden go quiet, or,
Which you just did.
you hear your chat ruined, right? Then it's probably because of my internet connection. Actually, it is because of my internet connection. Continue. Sorry.
It's fucking spy balloons, bro. Pointer told reporters on Tuesday she was amused when KFC approached their company. We had a good chuckle, she said, according to Space.com. We thought it was quite funny, but after we thought about it for a minute, we all decided it was incredibly cool. Right, because what the fuck else are you supposed to do when you have that much money? Oh yeah, let's just fucking send a sandwich to space. Fuck.
Right.
KFC sneak previewed the voyage last month in a commercial featuring Rob Lowe as Colonel Sanders. The time has come to explore beyond our known horizons to push KFC's spicy, crispy chicken sandwich to new heights. He said in the ad, sure, there'll be questions like why. No, really? And
Honestly,
here's the tweet. Okay. Here's your first official look at the Zinger space vessel. Yes, we are actually building this. And wow, okay.
That's actually pretty amazing looking, I'm not gonna lie. But okay, so after going through this article, I can understand why they would send a chicken sandwich up there. Because, well, first of all, they're getting advertisement for their fucking Zinger.
Right.
And second of all, these scientists are getting their records for this balloon, so that way, they can tell if this is going to work, if they can do this for an extended period of time.
So I mean, I guess it's not just really all for naught. It's
there are some beneficial factors to this,
right? I mean, at least it's helping science. I guess.
And KFC, you can't forget about KFC.
And KFC, but fucking fast food cunts. Sending sandwiches into space.
Because KFC's feeding people space chicken.
I guess so, dude. Like, that's gonna be... Watch Alex Jones fucking find out about this shit. I would love to hear what the fuck he has to say. Oh my god. They have space demon chicken. I'm a human. And I'm angry. I'm a human, and I don't want no fucking space chicken.
I want
those chickens are demons. They come from the devil. Fuck. This dude's a fucking nut job.
But a funny one.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's entertainment at the very least.
That's true.
I'm fucking ashamed though, dude, because when I was like fucking what? When I was like 15, fucking, I was, following the fucking bandwagon, fucking conservative, and, I was like, oh, you fucking liberals, because, that's how my grandfather was, and that's how most of my family is. So, I didn't fucking... not until I actually started thinking about shit, and actually looking into shit for myself, was I like, oh god, no, that was fucking cringy, dude. That was bad. Because I used to seriously listen to fucking Alex Jones when I was 14 or 15.
Well, see,
I feel so filthy, dude. I need a shower now. Ugh.
Like a good 4-day fucking shower.
Right.
No, but personally, I don't have any political views. I really could give a shit less. personally, I think politics are cancerous. But
Right.
at the same time, there are some, some good things about, being politically involved. Like, the fact of the matter is, I read not that long ago that Korea has actually proved to us that they have the means of bombing the United States.
Yeah.
The last we heard before that was that they had a failed experiment where they fucking dropped a bomb into the ocean. Okay.
Wow.
So now they have the means to bomb us. Okay. And if you're not politically involved, you probably don't know that. So
I didn't fucking know that. Honestly, dude, I don't really follow politics all that much. I mean, I'm a centrist, centrist slash fucking centrist libertarian, I guess. I don't know, but like,
right.
I just believe everybody has the freedom to do whatever the fuck they feel like doing as long as they're not hurting anybody or infringing on anybody else's rights. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. And as far as it comes to, like, drugs and shit, I believe all drugs should be legal. The ingestion of a substance should not be a crime. Committing crimes should be a crime. And nonviolent crimes should not be crimes, because it's nonviolent. You're not hurting anybody, and you're not infringing on somebody's rights.
Right. But the act of, okay, as an example,
like theft, that is violent, because you are,
stealing from somebody.
Yeah, you're invading. That's violence against somebody's property.
Right. But okay, so the act of, like, crystal meth, as an example, that's illegal in the United States.
Right.
So
it shouldn't be.
But the thing is, I can understand why it is, and why, and I have the same, thought that I feel like it probably shouldn't be. But the reason that I can see why it is illegal is because of purchasing. So as of right now, you have to be 18 years old to purchase cigarettes, 21 to purchase alcohol, 21 to purchase marijuana.
But how often do you think motherfuckers are buying shit for minors?
Right, but, well, yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, because I grew up in a small town in Nevada, and there was a lot of meth being passed around to minors. Okay, there was a lot of crackhead kids, in fucking high school, and I can honestly tell you that, it was fucking terrible. But at the same time,
it should be illegal to give drugs to children. But if you are 18 or older, like, you do whatever the fuck you want to do with your own body. It should be illegal to give that to minors, of course, because that's fucked up. Well, just like alcohol is legal, but it's illegal to give alcohol to minors.
Right. Because that's the thing. It's actually legal in most states to actually give your children, within reason, of course, alcohol in the privacy of your own home. Same with cigarettes. But the act of purchasing is illegal unless you're of age. But here's the thing that I would like to mention, and I can't stress this enough. Denmark, as an example, doesn't have very many laws against certain things like drugs.
Dude, what was it? Fucking Denmark? They at like 12 years old, they're fucking drinking.
Right, but here's the thing about that. Crime rates are so fucking low because the hype of committing a crime is gone. The hype of doing something illegal is gone. So the fact
and
that...
it's not just that, it's like, honestly, listen, people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. Making something a crime is not making anybody safer. That's just putting more people in prison that was not ever necessary. And
it's a waste of funds.
And if you're 18 or older and you choose to ingest a harmful substance, you should not go to jail for it. It shouldn't be illegal, because now you're criminalizing something that's, harmful to somebody. Instead, if they seek help for it, like, they shouldn't be imprisoned and thrown in a fucking cage. You know what I mean? They should get medical help.
But going back to Denmark, if America had legalized, again, going back to crystal meth, if America legalized crystal meth, crime rates would be essentially fucking gone, as far as crystal meth is concerned. And you know, we would be saving millions and millions of dollars per year in prison funds and jail funds. And you know, that's the closer that that's done, the closer we are to being out of debt to China. So honestly,
Out
you
of
know,
debt to China? Where the fuck did China come into this?
well, see, I read something not that long ago. Again, this is coming from the internet, so I can't tell you exactly how true this is, but fucking apparently Obama had borrowed money from China, and we're like $14 trillion in debt to China.
You know
or
what's
some shit.
fucking nuts? The planet Earth? Planet Earth is in, what is it? Hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt. How the fuck is Earth in debt? Who is Earth in debt to?
And who owns Earth?
Right. Get the fuck out of here with that. I need some acid. Like, once you start peeling back the layers, man, it all fucking just falls away. Like, and none of it makes sense. It's like, well, why the fuck are we following these laws? Why the fuck are we listening to any of this shit? The world is in debt. Fucking excuse me. I'm just gonna fucking walk over here now to fucking smoke a bowl and just play some games. You guys can fucking fight amongst yourselves about that. Like, fuck all that. That's retarded.
See, and all this bullshit is why I want to be a citizen of the land.
Oh.
I want to be completely disconnected from the outside world, and I want to live off the land.
Now, Damon, that's going a bit too far. Like, you want to be a
but
fucking
here's the thing
hermit
that-
in a cave? Like, come on now.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing about that. I mean, maybe not completely disconnected, but here's what's great, right? So, and I remember watching this video, and it's completely bullshit. But there was this man and his daughter who got pulled over, and this
The
man
mountain man.
No. It was a different man. He was pulled over in his vehicle, and he did not have a driver's license. The thing is, he did not take into consideration that he was paying money for the gas and for the vehicle. If you're a citizen of the land, you do not pay for jack shit. You do not pay for internet, a phone bill, electricity, gas, food. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're a citizen of the land, because this is a real thing, being a citizen of the land means that you have the right to hunt and fish and ride your horse, whatever the fuck you please, as long as you are not purchasing anything or using any kind of electricity or anything of the sort made by man.
Fuck all that. Fuck all that. I ain't going back to the fucking dark ages, bitch.
See, but
I need my Skyrim. I need my Rift. I need. What the fuck am I gonna do without internet, asshole? Like, no.
Right. But see,
Who the fuck you think? I'm just gonna fucking play with sticks in the yard like I'm two. You fuck you.
But see, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, you and I were to become citizens of the land, legitimate citizens of the land. We cannot use American satellites, but we can use Russian and China satellites to bounce off an internet connection. We can actually come up with our own router.
Oh yeah, no.
It would be a lot of work, but honestly,
because living out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, I had a satellite right over my head, and you remember how great my internet connection was over there? You want to fucking bounce off of a satellite in another country?
But here's the thing,
dude. It'll take a year for a Facebook page to load. Come on now.
I'm just saying, honestly, being disconnected means if you're a citizen of the land, you're essentially your own fucking country, because you're not following the laws and the rules of the country.
Yeah, but you also can't use anything in that that's too much.
Right. But see, that's why there's countries that actually allow this kind of thing. So, as going back to fucking Denmark, I actually had a plan to move to Denmark because, there's so many fucking laws that do not exist there compared to the United States. You know, if I lived in fucking Denmark, I could live happily, you know, for fucking eternity. You know, the thing is, I mean, fucking Denmark, you get free healthcare, you get free college, all that shit. Sure, you'll be paying a little bit more in taxes, but honestly, I would much rather pay more in taxes and get all this healthcare and all the college that I could possibly fucking think of than have
Right.
to worry about paying for insurance. You know, and that's living in Denmark is a little bit similar to being a citizen of the land. The difference is I can use the shit in Denmark. I can use the internet. I can use their hospitals. I can use their gas, you know. So honestly, Denmark is probably the best place that I can think of, you know, aside from Sweden. The thing that I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
move to
see,
Sweden
here's
for
the
is
thing, dude. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to move out of here. I want to, you know, I want to move here or there or here or there." But it's like, then you know what happens to the U.S.? It just gets more shitty. Like, why don't you stay and try to make shit better?
because do you remember? I know for a fact you do, but the fucking Civil War. Okay, North versus South. Essentially, that was them trying to overthrow a tyrannical government in their eyes. Nowadays, it's considered just fucking retarded. But that same shit is going to happen to us in our lifetime again. I can see it happening. I can see somebody getting pissed off, starting a fucking riot, and then half the country is going to start trying to overthrow a tyrannical government.
Right,
And then
but
we're going to
see,
be in war with ourselves.
that's how idiots react, man. You gotta. I mean, yeah, there was once a time where I'm like, yeah, we need to fucking shoot every government official in the fucking face and shove a shotgun in their asshole, but, you know, it honestly just fuels the fucking fire even more. It's not productive.
See, but by saying that you want to fix shit, how are you going to fix shit unless you become the uh, country representator? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Fucking president.
representative.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot of shit to change shit, right? So
I know every little thing helps, but if you want to really,
okay,
really make a
hold
difference,
on. Let's say you work your ass off, right? We make our own company. Our company becomes pretty wealthy. We use all that money that we get to open up homeless shelters, to feed the homeless. You know, now we're taking care of one huge problem in the U.S.
well, yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do to change things. I mean, you can have no money at all and still help people, dude. Like, it's
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, Trump being the president now, okay, you being a centralist libertarian can understand that the difference between all of these different political types is ridiculous. And the fact that we keep bouncing back and forth from each president is a little fucking ridiculous. Okay, and somebody is going to take that into consideration and they're going to fucking, like I said, start a fucking riot. Okay, because they want what you want. They want to legalize all this shit and lower crime rates. They want to do all this to help the country for the greater good. But at the time, it's going to seem like they're just being fucking idiots and trying to overthrow the government. You know, trying to shove a fucking shotgun in
I
there.
do see what you're saying.
You know,
I
so
do see what you're saying.
there's these
But
things that need to be taken into consideration. You know, so like I said, I can see this happening in our fucking lifetime. There's going to be another fucking civil war.
yeah, see, I can definitely see it happening too, but it's just a matter of should we go about it that way?
How else are you going to do it unless you become the fucking president? Or
See, that thinking is the fucking problem right there. You seem to think that, you know, oh, you have to be the president. No,
no.
that's the worst fucking.
I'm saying if you want to legalize all of this shit, you have to be a higher up in the government society.
No, you
governmental
don't.
society.
You know what you
Because-
do? You just disregard the fucking law. If everybody disregards the fucking law because it's a retarded law, what the fuck are they going to do? Are they going to arrest everybody?
Well, I mean, technically, that's what they did for marijuana in Colorado. But I'm just everybody in Colorado was a bunch of fucking potheads, so they said, "Fuck it, let's turn this into tax money." Blah blah blah. Right? But
Exactly. When an entire fucking populace stops following a law, what the fuck are they gonna do? The only way for a law to be viable is if people follow it. People forget the power that they have. The government does not have power over the people. The people have power over the government. But in recent years, we seem to have fucking forgotten that. We still have all of the power. It's just we think we don't.
right.
Well,
that makes
if
sense.
nobody follows, what these assholes are saying, then guess what? They're just talking out of their ass. Their words are nothing.
Right, but you also have to think, what are the odds? Marijuana was one thing, but what are the odds of, getting an entire fucking populace to completely disregard the law at once?
Dude,
Because
it's happening
you,
more and more as every day
I
goes
know,
by.
but think about this. Like,
I mean,
if it starts off
you
with
do
one
realize
person,
that this entire generation that we're in right now, like, as the years go by, dude, I feel fucking old too, because next year, somebody born in 2000 will be 18. They will be an adult.
yeah,
Fuck. Oh, shit. Well, I mean, you.
yeah.
But you
Oh,
were
I was
born one
born in
year
90.
before that,
I
so...
was born in 99,
Right,
so
you're 18 this year, but still, like, fucking... No, but my whole point is this entire generation is very forward think. Well, no, let me take that back because you got the fucking you got the feminazis, fucking third wave feminists. They're batshit insane. That's a topic for a whole nother fucking time. But uh, for the most part, our entire generation just wants to do what the fuck they want to do, not hurting anybody. I want to fucking smoke my weed. I want to be paid a livable wage. Just common sense, basic shit,
right,
Because, I mean, I think as a whole, we're tired of being told, oh, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta fucking suffer. You gotta be a fucking slave. You gotta be another number in the corporate machine if you want to survive. It's
right.
like, well,
But going
that's
to
only
that,
the status quo if you let that be the status quo.
right, but
That's
going to
why me
that,
and you were becoming entrepreneurs. That's why me and you want to do all this shit,
right. But going
Fuck
to
all this
that,
bullshit.
you have to think. You were saying, if everybody quit following a law, eventually they're going to have to change it, right? So, as an example, being part of a fucking corporate, just a fucking corporate slave. Um, if everybody quit going to work for a single company, and they all of a sudden raised up their fucking, minimum wage prices, that you have to think all those people that just fucking dropped that job in hopes of getting the fucking minimum wage price to go up. First of all, they just lost money. They just lost their rent. They just lost their fucking bills.
Right, but see,
The
that's the
odds of,
sacrifice you have to make, right? Because, no, hold on, because I know, I've ran through this entire fucking scenario many times before. Listen. Yeah, oh, they're gonna fucking... But what's the alternative? Honestly, what's the alternative? You're just gonna continue to suffer, barely make rent. So what? Okay, you don't have rent for a couple months. Oh, but what happens in lieu of that? Now that company that was just shitting all over people is now scared. They now have an ultimatum: either close their fucking doors for good, go bankrupt, or
like,
raise their
Blockbuster.
fucking pay and pay people a decent wage.
Right.
So,
But
and
like,
to make that big of a change, to really strike that much fucking fear in the heart of a fucking soulless company, to like fucking use the power that you have. Oh, okay, so you miss rent for 2 months. Oh, God, what a travesty.
well, that can be because If you
Right,
think
but
about it,
listen, here's the
there's all
thing.
these
If you're not
16-year-olds that
fucking
have kids
willing
and
to
shit.
go homeless, if you're not willing to fucking struggle for a bit to make a huge change like that, what the fuck are you doing?
Well,
You have
okay,
no right to
personally,
bitch at that point.
right, but personally, I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, I wouldn't mind being a fucking citizen of the land. I don't mind being fucking homeless for a little while. But the thing is, there's these people like I just mentioned. There are 16-year-olds with fucking children already. You know, personally, if I had a kid, which I don't right now, but if I did, and all of a sudden, this whole movement was going to increase the minimum wage of a company, and I was working for that company, I'm not gonna just fucking drop it because I've got a fucking kid to take care of. You
Right,
know,
and what do you think? We've been fucking working for McDonald's since the dawn of man? Like,
well, obviously
if
not,
you're
but I'm
willing to feed
fucking
yourself off of the land, you can easily do that for your child too.
yeah,
Now, of course that is not the most ideal. Of course, I'm not saying that, that's an ideal scenario, but
right.
we can't sit here and bitch if we're not willing to suffer, if we're not willing to take risk, if we're not willing to
To
actually
take
do something. If you're just gonna sit
right,
there and fucking bitch about how shit is all day and then turn around and be like, oh well, I have work in the morning. Like, what the fuck? Everything you just said meant nothing. Good job, you're
right.
fucking retarded. Go fucking sit in the corner and think about what you've just done.
Play with a fucking piece of string.
Play with a piece of string, yeah. Fucking goddamn it. No, because that shit pisses me off. You're like, people talk a lot about fucking, oh yeah, no, I'm so pissed, fucking $9 an hour, this is bullshit. But I have work in the morning, it's gotta do what you gotta do. Like,
Well, see,
what?
and I was like that. I was like
How?
that actually not too long ago. I worked for, and a lot of the West Coast will know, and probably East Coast too. I'm not sure because I didn't fucking study the company because I really didn't give a shit. But Jimmy John's, I was working. Let's see, to start with, it was 3 days a week, and then I got bumped up to 5 days a week at $7.50 an hour, working 3 hours a day. I was barely breaking 175, $200 paychecks every 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and I had bills to pay. But if I did not fucking put forth the effort and try to make more hours and try to get as many hours as I could, then I wasn't gonna fucking do anything. I wasn't gonna have, the shit that I was paying for. So, I mean, I can see from a typical person's standpoint, so their point of view of how, they need this, they need that. I mean, sure, a lot of things are physical, but like you were saying, what the fuck are you gonna do without your Rift and without your internet? Well, what the fuck are people going to do without their house, without their car,
Well,
without
right, but
fucking
see,
weekly grocery shit?
but that
Fucking,
was a joke, though, about the internet.
I know, I know, but I'm
Fucking
just saying
honestly,
it's
if it came down to it, I'd give up everything and I'd live in a fucking box in the woods if that meant making a fucking change.
right, and I would too in a fucking heartbeat. But that's what I'm saying. There's things that need to be taken into consideration. All these people that have fucking multiple children and they can't necessarily afford to go, or have the capabilities of going out into the middle of fucking nowhere and hunting for their family, because God forbid you live in fucking Denver, Colorado, you have to walk your happy ass 60 fucking miles out of town to go kill a fucking deer who may or may not actually feed your whole fucking family. There's it's either make the sacrifice and possibly lose a fucking child, or tough it out and be able to feed your family.
Right, I mean, I do understand that there are some scenarios where it's not feasible, but, I mean, think about it. How many people are that really?
If you're a city person, there's a lot. If you grew up in the country and you know how to do shit, then, and I'm not saying people who grew up in the city don't, but for the most part, when it comes down to hunting and fishing and surviving off the land, if you needed to, people who grew up in the city aren't going to be able to fucking survive as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, this shit just bothers me. There's a lot of people, like really cannot fathom living without fucking internet or anything like that. You still with us?
Yeah, sorry, you
Oh.
cut out there for a second, so I just quit talking. See if it'll fix itself, and I guess it did.
Yeah. No, because sadly a lot of people cannot fathom living without internet or living without all these fucking commodities, but
Right.
I don't know, man. This shit just like fucking irks me really bad.
Right.
I'm just, this is why I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm not. I fucking absolutely refuse to be stuck in a fucking 9 to 5 for the rest of my life and then get what? A couple grand a month as like a thank
If
you
that.
for fucking slaving away your whole life.
Right.
And by that time, I'm old and decrepit anyway. What the fuck am I gonna do? How am I gonna, fuck?
Right. But think
Oh,
about
I
this.
finally get to sleep all day.
But think about this, like there's a lot of people who are dogging on, as an example, Trump, because he's a good, businessman. He's got
No,
lot
he's
of
a
fucking
shitty
money.
businessman.
Well, obviously not if he's running a fucking really successful fucking business, and look how much money the man's making.
Do you know how many times he went
Obviously, he knows what he's
bankrupt?
doing. I don't keep track. I don't fucking know. But
Dude,
obviously the
multiple
man's got money.
economists have fucking outright stated that he's a shit businessman, and he is. Oh, okay, he's fucking running one. Technically, his son is running his business now. Because Trump, as the president, he cannot own his business. Not
Right.
legally. That would be a conflict of interest. That's
Well,
illegal.
that makes sense. But obviously he had to have been doing something right. Otherwise he wouldn't have made as much money as he did.
Right, but I mean,
And going back on what I was saying, if you and I were to work a 9 to 5 job, slaving away most of our lives to get the money that we get, we feel as though we earned that shit. But if we wound up being like Trump and doing something fucking right and making a fuck ton of money,
right, but still,
we
I
have the people
feel
that are working that 9 to 5 looking up at us and calling us fucking dicks because we know what the fuck we're doing.
right.
Well,
and also I think, yeah, sometimes it is necessary that you get yourself a job, but fucking go ahead and take your pick. Don't just jump at the first trash paying job that comes your way just because it's a job. Doesn't matter if I'm making $4 an hour. It's a job. No, no fucking.
But you also have to take into consideration that a lot of jobs anymore require a decent amount of past experience in the field. So I've worked at multiple
why
fast
don't you
food
just
chains.
fucking do what we're doing and just like start something from nothing?
Right. Well, that's what I'm.
Find out what you're good at and make money off of it.
Right. Well, see, and that's why I joined.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Right. But you see, there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't realize, and that's you have to work your way up. Let's say you're working at fucking McDonald's. You just started working there. Who's to say that fucking 2 years down the line, you could be owning that fucking that store. You could be owning that specific store in that specific town. You would be
franchise owner of a McDonald's. Ooh.
Surprisingly enough, Zion, there's actually quite a few people who have actually shown their fucking wages. And as an example, in Idaho, people who work at McDonald's are actually being paid $12 an hour. That's pretty fucking decent.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you do become a franchise owner of a McDonald's, I mean, you can pay people decently, but it's like,
right? But
I don't know, man.
This man in Idaho, who owns his store, specifically told me personally, because I know the man. He told me how much he makes. He showed me his fucking PayPal account. The man makes $26 an hour for sitting on his ass and watching a fucking camera. granted, yes, he has to do paperwork, for the fucking the food to come in and all that. But
Right.
personally, he makes $26 fucking dollars an hour to sit on his ass and watch a fucking computer. And all these people who are dogging on others who work at McDonald's, they need to fucking shut up, because McDonald's, believe it or not, is actually a decent fucking starting job, especially for teenagers. Myself, I worked at a fast food chain called Arctic Circle. I made shit wages. Now, my friend who I've been friends with since I was in kindergarten, in grade school, he's a fucking lead. He's a manager of the store, and he made $4 more than what I did, and he only worked there for 6 months before he got that job.
Okay.
Before he got that raise. So honestly, I mean, like I said, you have to work your way up. It doesn't matter what job it is. It doesn't matter what state you're in. A job is a job, and if you work your ass off, you will make more money.
Right, but see,
time.
what I have a problem with is this mentality of, oh, I'm getting paid like trash. Let me work my ass off to prove to the people that are treating me like shit that I'm worthy of being paid more. It's a disgusting mentality, at least to me.
Well, sure.
And then it comes, it all comes back to, oh, well, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Right.
You have to fucking bend over and take it up the ass better than anybody else takes it up the ass, so that you can be gifted with a better wage, because you're the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Because you're so good at taking it up the ass.
Right. Well, and I can understand that, but see, I grew up in a small town, like I said, and I grew up with, country folk, and I was raised to believe where if you worked for something yourself, like, okay, here's a really decent a really decent example of real life scenarios, real life things that happen. You have all these rich people who pay for their children's vehicles and their licenses, and then they get into a fucking car accident 2 weeks later. A person who goes and works and earns that fucking car and earns that license, they're bound to take care of it a little bit better. So if you work your ass off in a job, prove to the pieces of shit who own it that you're worthy of being paid more, you earned that. You weren't
you would have earned it just as much if you got paid better too. I mean, you're still working for it.
Sure.
But you're working as a human being, not like a fucking pile of dirt, trying to prove to other people that you should be treated like a human being.
Right. I don't know. I don't even know how we got off on this tangent.
I forgot.
I did too. But there's a lot of things,
Yeah. Well, shit, we've been going for what? About an hour and 45 minutes in total for this podcast.
I'd say that's fairly sufficient for our first podcast.
Yeah. So you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
And
seriously, guys.
Hopefully we'll have I don't know, what would you say? How many per week would you say that we should do?
I want to do this regularly.
So daily or once every other day?
Not daily, probably. Well, to start off with, I'd like to do 1 or 2 a week, maybe.
That's fine. 1 or 2 a week. So we will see you guys sometime this week. So hold on, what day is it? Just fucking
No, Friday.
Thursday.
I think no, it's Friday.
Well, now it's Friday, but it was Thursday.
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Is Friday
here.
now.
It's 2 in the morning there. Yeah, it's Friday. So yeah, I was thinking of doing one, Monday and then one Friday.
That's just fine. So Monday it is.
But to seamless, shameless transition here. if you do like this podcast, if you do enjoy our talks and our rants and tangents, we will put a link to our Patreon, so you can go check that out. You guys can get some amazing shit from being a patron. You all the way from a shout out to being on the show with us. And it's fine if you don't have a lot of money. I mean, the starting patronage is, I think, $1 a month, and it goes all the way up to $100. So there is a level for everybody that everybody can afford. I mean, if you can throw a dollar bill at us a month, or even a $5, like, that would help out immensely. So
Yeah,
and
honestly.
we have goals up there. Once we reach $500 a month, we'll do a third podcast every week, probably on Wednesdays, where we will do live Q&As. So there's that. And then, yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed our absolute nonsense and our rambling and and all that shit. D, you got anything to say?
Just a thank to everybody who's listening. I appreciate you, staying. And if you happen to stay and listen to us talk for an hour and 45 minutes, that's fucking kudos, because that's quite a while to be sitting there and listening to two people just talk and talk and talk and talk and go off on random tangents like we're some kind of radio host. So I mean, just thank you so much for tuning in and listening.
Right. So on that note, everybody, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night or whatever it is near you guys, and we will see you in the next episode, I guess. Peace out from the Pigeon Ditch.